In an industry that's constantly changing and with technology that's ever evolving, there's a responsibility to maintain best practice policy and procedures, whether it be to improve safety, productivity, or your bottom line. The ATA's Industry Technical Council took on this responsibility more than 25 years ago, and since its inception has made great strides in the technical space, delivering many wins for industry. Today, the ITC is the trucking industry's brains trust that solves issues and saves lives. The group plays a crucial role in raising technology and maintenance standards and improving operational safety. Today, I'm joined by Bruce McIver, the first ever chair of the ITC, and Rachel Michaud, a current ITC member, to explore what led to the creation of the ITC all those years ago and how the group is still making a big impact today. So, Bruce, 25 years ago, there wasn't very much industry representation or regulatory bodies that determined how the road laws and technical and operating standards were drafted and legislated. What was it that pushed you and your industry peers to come together and form the Industry Technical Council?
After we formed the ATA, which in those days we called the RTF in 1989, the first step was that Bob Hawke as Prime Minister and Nick Greiner as Premier of New South Wales and the other premiers got together and formed, said we have to have national regulations for the transport industry. And they formed what was called the NRTC. From that process and seeing what was happening to the industry in relation to safety, and that was the prime motivation why the RTF was formed, or the ATA was formed, we needed to make sure that we kept to the top of the tree, I suppose you might as well say, in relation to safety initiatives and efficiency as well. So if we could get safety first, but if that was a benefit for efficiency, well, that was what we needed. So we decided that we would set up the Industry Technical Council. And I've got to say, when we set it up, it just took off. It was really a success from day one.
So tell me a little bit about those early days. What kind of people were involved and what were some of the key issues that you were dealing with?
I think the mechanical people were the main ones involved, and I'm not sure what happens today, but Rachel will tell us. But yeah, Craig Roseneder and Bob Woodward were involved in those early days. And I know we had an award for Craig. We started that up after he passed on, but he was one of the key ones, and he was the head maintenance guy for Nolan's Transport at Gatton. The focus being on maintenance and maintenance standards, and everyone was very hungry to learn what was best practice, what someone else might have been doing that would improve their safety, but therefore would also improve their bottom line. And that was the motivation to start it.
And also many years ago, it also saw the development of the Technology and Maintenance Conference, which today is one of Australia's longest running technical conferences. What was the group aiming to deliver for industry when it developed this conference?
Practical outcomes to demonstrate, so they could feel and touch something and see it demonstrated for them. I think the first one, I can't remember now, but I think it was Moonee Valley, wasn't it? Do you know where the first one was? We certainly finished up my time as leader. We were at Moonee Valley. I think the first one was there. I'm not sure. But it was to feel things and see things and to understand how they operated. And people were thirsty for information, as it turned out.
Now, Rachel, you've been a member of the ITC for some years now. How did you get involved and what sort of prompted you to join?
Yeah, sure. So I've been with Knorr-Bremse for 8 years and we've been members of the ITC since when I started. My first ITC experience, I guess, was at the TMC, which was a great conference. And just seeing so many, bright people get up and speak technically about our industry and how to actually look after some of our safety systems and parts in the industry, I could see early on that, ATA was really providing something beneficial. So it wasn't long after that I was able to personally meet Bob. And then over the years, I've been able to actually take a lead role for Knorr-Bremse in liaising with that council. But the dedication and the passion shown by the ITC just really stood out to me. They really care about the industry and making a difference. And it's fantastic because it's able to represent people from all the way across the industry. So it's not just suppliers, but it's actually the end users. There's the government, there's the legal aspect, and of course, you know, the public. You know, they've always got the public in mind. So yeah, it's just really fantastic and a very good all-rounder for, I guess, covering off on everyone in industry and giving everyone a voice.
That's right. And today we've got within the ITC different working groups that help develop technical advisory procedures and safety alerts and those kind of things. What kind of activities does the ITC do today, and how do members get involved with the group?
Sure. So the ITC hold regular meetings, and I guess they have a list of different issues that they're looking up, that you can bring up new issues. All you have to do is contact ATA, and you know, one of your friendly representatives will get you in touch with Bob and the rest of the crew to send you a link to the meetings. But beyond the meetings, it really goes outside of that. So they're quite active in contacting members. The one that comes to mind is the autonomous braking systems, or advanced braking systems, which are soon to be legislated. ATA have been quite active in really getting around those issues, and again, understanding it from not just the end user, but you know, also the different transport companies, the drivers, as well as us who are producing these types of systems. And they've highlighted some really key issues there, which it's going to be exciting to see how it moves forward. But because the Australian market is so unique to the rest of the world, you know, the ATA ITC really plays a critical role there in helping us merge all the different world markets together and the different technologies and making sure we apply them safely.
Definitely. Now, Bruce, as Rachel mentioned there's a lot of activities going on, but the ITC has also achieved a lot for industry in years gone by. Can you tell me about some of the big wins that the group has helped deliver?
One of the things that, one of the issues we had at the start was the non-compatibility of brake systems with multiple trailers, or even the B doubles we had in those days, with the prime mover. And the prime mover would brake one way and the trailers would be, so they weren't compatible. So that was one of the big issues at the start. What we also did is we brought people out from the United States, and we sent sponsors help us get people to go to the United States. And so we were learning from people from overseas as well, and what was coming next, and the best practices. So the ITC was very critical in pulling all that together, and then to have the maintenance conference once a year.
Wonderful. And now, Rachel, today the ITC has nearly 100 members, and many of these people have been members for more than 20 years. What does the ITC give back to their members, and what are some of those benefits?
Yeah, sure. I think the communication is really fantastic. So it's very easy because we're in a big industry in a big country with so much information out there, but the ATA are really able to distill that information down and pass it on to members in a way that you can understand, basically just to make sure you don't miss anything. And they're quite good with following up. So if any key members aren't present, or if they're, you know, they leave no stone unturned. So Bob's not afraid to pick up the phone and give you a call if there's an issue that he thinks you should be across or involved in. So they really do go that extra mile to make sure that all the people who need to have a say do get to have a say. So it really is a critical membership, I think, for any organisation in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. And Bruce, being the inaugural chair and being there for the development, now moving forward into the future, what are you hoping that the ITC can sort of deliver for industry, or what are you hoping is the next steps?
Emily, I think Rachel and Bob and the team, and you mentioned the chairman's name before, need to be congratulated on where they've taken, and whoever's been involved, where they've taken it. It's probably gone further than we ever dreamt it would, to be honest. And we wanted to start somewhere, and when you start something, you probably have a vision for where it could go, but I think it's outgrown that vision that I had, and certainly the RTF board at that stage had. So where it goes from here, I don't know. It's up to the people that are involved, obviously, but I just encourage them and congratulate them on where it is and where it's come from, and where it's the potential it's got to go forward.
And Rachel, if someone was considering becoming an ITC member, what would you say to them?
Yeah, I'd say definitely give it a go. I mean, what have you got to lose? It's really important to have a voice and to talk to those within industry. If we all do things in isolation, we're just not going to be happy with the outcome. So I'd say definitely collaboration is so important. And, you know, it's a really passionate group of people who I think really have the best intentions and just want to find good solutions.
Beautiful. Well, Rachel, Bruce, thank you so much for your time. And for those who are interested in finding more about the Industry Technical Council, they can head to truck.net.au.